Thank you very much.
He's taking more and more time with these things, right?
He is. Good news, Forrest Kumis was discharged this morning, so he's back in the building, and he looks good. He's returning to full participation today, and we'll evaluate his status. We'll give him a workout, probably throw a bullpen today, and see where he is and make a decision about his status for the weekend.
Questions, please raise your hand.
A couple of weekends into the conference season, and your weekend rotation is still not completely settled. I mean, I'm sure you would like it to be a little more settled, but how does that affect in terms of how you prepare?
Well, I would really like for it to be settled. It's a work in progress for one reason or another, and injuries mostly right now. So we've battled hard. We've had some guys step up for us and keep us in a position to win, so I'm very happy about that. But it is a challenge ongoing. This weekend, it looks like Roth will be in his normal spot. Colby Holmes is the Saturday guy now. And then we'll have to make a decision what we do on Sunday. Certainly, Forrest Kumis is a candidate at this point, but we'll have to evaluate him today to determine how we plan to use him.
But definitely no Neff for this weekend.
No Neff.
Okay.
Ray, with Colby on Saturday, how much of that was how well he pitched last week, and how much of it was just, you obviously needed to get out the pitch?
Well, I think the decision was made based on his production. He's been productive for us not only in Gainesville, but prior to that, he's had some quality innings. We felt like he had a pretty good preseason. He was sick the week that we opened up. Kind of got him behind the 8 ball. He missed 3 or 4 days of practice prior to our season opener. So it kind of set him back from getting his innings the first weekend, and he's been battling back. But he's pitched well. We feel like he's certainly capable of having a good outing on Saturday.
Just what kind of week do you think this has been for Forrest, going from that kind of showcase start out of nowhere last weekend to the hospital and bouncing back?
We went over to visit him yesterday, and I think he was a little agitated because he was still there, but certainly he needed to be there for observation purposes and make sure he was okay. But he sort of gets a surprise start in Gainesville. He responds, he does a good job, makes every statement that he should continue to get opportunities, and then he gets sick and has to miss a few days. So I know he'd like to be in a better position, but maybe it'll be okay. And we need some guys to pitch right now, and some guys to pitch well.
What about as a freshman? I mean, the things that he's already encountered, is his mental makeup, does it lend itself to this kind of thing?
I think it does. He's always been a competitor, and we paid attention when he played high school football. He took a lot of hits. He wasn't a 45 pass attempts per game. He was running the ball and taking shots, and we like that kind of toughness, and he showed us that. He just needed to get more experience and mature, and I think Coach Meyer's done a tremendous job with him. He's eager to learn. He listens, and hopefully we're almost at the halfway point. He can be a key contributor in the second half.
Coach, your team's showing the same resiliency the last couple games that you guys showed in the College World Series and most of last year. I imagine probably pretty positive that your team has been tested this year, past couple games, and so far this season, and has responded pretty well for the most part.
Well, we've been able to battle. I don't think we're head and shoulders talent-wise above a whole lot of teams around the country, but the veteran guys on this team understand what it takes to win, and we compete very well. It's a challenge a lot, just as it was yesterday and last weekend and times before that. But we do have some guys that understand that's a component of college baseball, especially in the Southeastern Conference, and you try to stay in position for some good things to happen. And Adrian Morales' leadership, and Brady Thomas and Walker and Bradley, and those guys have been around the block a few times. That's very important, and certainly Michael Roth being out front, eating a lot of innings right now, is a big key for us.
Coach, I'm doing a piece on Curtis Johnson. If you could speak about him personally, and then as well as how you kind of help your players prepare for life beyond baseball.
Well, Curtis Johnson is a young man that, I was very special in this program for us, a competitor, a guy that wanted to win and took the ball for you. And, you got to know Curtis quite well just because his personal situation was a little bit different than a lot of people's. And, you know, I think that a guy like Curtis has made a large impact on this program over the years. And part of the reason that, you know, we've had some good things happen here is because of guys like Curtis Johnson and the leadership that he provided when he was here.
And what about how do you help mentor your players to prepare for life beyond athletics?
Well, you know, sometimes, you know, they ask you questions and then they go in the other direction. But I like to stay in touch with them. Today, for example, I was on the phone with Adam Everett. We were going back and forth in texting. We were going back and forth today. It seemed like 30 minutes or an hour maybe. He broke camp with the Indians, and we were talking about some things, and I was doing a lot of mentoring today, and he thanked me for that. I think he was being a little sarcastic, but I said, remember, you were the 12th pick in the draft when you came through the University of South Carolina. So I just like to stay in touch and provide any experience that I can for them as they go forward in life.
Ray, I hope I don't change the subject too much. Just your thoughts on opening day in Major League Baseball. Does that still mean something to you, or do you consider yourself a fan or a student of the pro game and what that kind of means to you?
Well, you know, I get a chance now to experience 2 opening days. Well, you know, the college opening day is very exciting, more so than many years ago. And then you get a chance for big leaguers to open. I saw the first pitch today with the Yankees and the Tigers. I was right there. The Tigers are up 1-0 right now. And it is exciting, and you know, we had 5 guys today on opening day rosters, and I've either called or texted all 5 of them today, and that's very, you know, unique. And you know, tomorrow night, the 10 o'clock game, Landon Powell's in Oakland and Smokes in Seattle. They're the late game tomorrow night, so maybe get a chance to catch a few. And it's exciting. I mean, if you're a baseball person, it's special. It's opening day.
I know some pieces of changes, but this was a staff that kind of shut you guys down and handcuffed you last year. Is there an awareness about that? And I guess that was the first SEC series you lost last year.
Well, I think that it doesn't matter who it is and what weekend it is in the Southeastern Conference. You're going to face good people, difficult challenges, and you can't get too wrapped up in you know, what's happened in the past, good or bad. And you know you're going to face good people, and just like Alex Meyer tomorrow night, I mean, he's a young man that could fly to the top of the draft charts. I know, reading some things right now, he's a little bit down. That being said, he's still probably a late first rounder, but he could fly all the way back to the top 10 picks. He's got that kind of arm. He's a power guy with a great breaking ball, and there's tremendous challenges. It doesn't matter if it's Florida or whoever it may be in our conference. They're good teams. There's 9 or 10 teams every year that are probably good enough to go to the postseason, and you try to have your team prepared and make adjustments and stay in a position to win, and not get too concerned about what the other team does, other than just scouting reports with tendencies. But I think that you get yourself wrapped up in some things that you can't control if you go too far. When you pay too much attention to the other team, other than, like I said, some scouting reports, you got to try to get your team ready to go, and understand it's going to be difficult, it's going to be hard, and there's a good chance that you know, the game's going to be in the balance from the 6th inning on.
A couple more questions, guys. I'm going to get some players in there.
Ray, with Adam being out, a couple of questions. How comfortable are you with Peter at the leadoff spot, and how comfortable are you with Barry left and Evan and right?
Well, I'm certainly comfortable from a defensive standpoint. Marzilli is a very good outfielder. He's a plus defender. Barry made a couple of really nice plays, you know, down in Florida last weekend, and Mooney's starting to have a lot better at bats in the last probably 2 weeks. So I'm pretty comfortable from that standpoint. But I'd love to have Adam Matthews in there, no question about it. And they have 2 lefties in the rotation this weekend, so we'd love to have him. I guess there's an outside chance he'll be available as a pinch hitter, but probably not as a position player, and that would be a unique situation should we do that.
How do you envision using Matt Price this weekend? Do you think you might bring him in like really early, one game if you needed to?
I will use Matt Price to win games, whether it's in the 6th, the 16th, or the 9th. And you know, sometimes when I'm not sure I'm going to follow the the Twitter, Travis Haney's Twitter. I'll check in and find out how to manage my bullpen.
It's always a good source.
Any other questions? I'm gonna go get Forrest a couple of players.
Andrew, that was just getting good. Why do you want to break it up?
Yeah, thanks, Andrew.